Guys, deluded. YouTube's Lucas Terrera and all of them things. Now, you know I hate predictions. I can barely predict these things. I really hate it. But a lot of you have asked me to do my predictions in regards to the top six and relegation. So I thought, you know what? I've got to give you guys what you want. It's not always making content that I want. Without you guys, I'm nothing. Without every just over 4,000 of you, wherever you are, I've checked my demographics. There's a lot of people that actually watch me in Nigeria, obviously the United Kingdom and America. There's a lot of four corners of the world, Australian people as well, New Zealand, wherever you are, however you watch me in whatever damn time zone, it means a lot in it. So I have to give you guys what you want. Regards to the top six, now top six is a funny one for me because I say this season in, season out, and I'm backed up time and time again. Anyone in that top six can get in the top four. Obviously, six doesn't go into four like that, so two people are gonna miss out on the thing, are gonna miss out on the spot. But I do believe that. Now, you can say there's many different reasons for why a team could or couldn't, but how hard is it? I mean, how hard is it to put in a run of form? You get out of December period and you see where you are. Arsenal for 2 years have shot themselves in the foot and self-sabotaged themselves in regards to not getting top four. Some people have clawed it. Even Chelsea, who were poor all season last year, more or less, and again, I'm being harsh on that, they could have got top four, but they left themselves with a lot to hang on to. Liverpool could have slipped out of it. So there's fine margins. So I do believe everybody can get top four, and it is a bit weird because I have to think with my heart and think with my brain. If I'm using my head, again, everyone can get top four, to be honest with you. And another reason makes me back top four is because even if you look at, in fact, I'll get onto that later. If I use my head, there's many different ones. I mean, in no particular order. I'm never going to say a certain team first come out of my mouth, but I think City are going to be there. Barring they self-sabotage themselves is the only reason they won't be there. So you'd like to think City are going to be there. So that's Manchester City. I do believe based on the money they've spent and everything that's been going on in the last couple of years, and Klopp saying if he's there 3 years he'll win a title and it's now their fourth, the pressure is on Liverpool, and I do believe they have to get top four. So I'm going to put them there. It's a weird one, man. Again, they're two spots. They're the two, I think, only it's just them two really that I could say definite. And again, it's not really a definite for anyone, especially Liverpool, no disrespect, but it's a definite. I'm going to say Spurs as well because, again, I don't want them to get top four, and I'll get onto why I think they might not on another basis. But 9 times out of 10, every year people don't put Spurs in their top four or whatever. If I say top six, forgive me, you know I'm speaking about top four. But they still get there. Yeah, they haven't signed any players and things like that, and there's a lot of cause for concern in that department. But out of the top six, probably excluding Pep and to a degree maybe Klopp even greater, you have to argue few more managers in that top six get more out of their side collectively, player for player, than Pochettino. Many a times he's got players playing out of their skin. He's managed to hide the likes of Dyer for their lack of ability. So it could go completely wrong, and don't get it twisted, I hope it goes wrong for Spurs. I'm an Arsenal fan, but you can't not talk about them. Chelsea, I do believe they'll put in a stronger claim to get top four this year. I think if Sarri makes it click, it can happen for them, to be fair. And United, there's cause for concern, but I mean, they were there last year. They were poor last year, but they were still second, so you have to respect them. So if I had to put it into, I'd probably say City, Liverpool, United, Spurs would be my first one. Spurs/Chelsea, actual slash between them. If I'm using my heart, obviously I'm saying Arsenal, Liverpool, City, Chelsea/Spurs, to be honest with you. But why I think they're the only team, why I think Liverpool and Liverpool to a degree, because I think this could be classed as them, but why I only think is City, because City can self-sabotage, people could learn how they play and things like that, and it could be harder to grind out results versus the freestyling football they had last year. But even if that happens, I do think they're a class above everybody. Similar to, I like the way Liverpool's going as a club. They look ahead of Chelsea, Arsenal, Spurs at the moment, in the sense that the money that's being invested and things. And I do believe Klopp should be put under the microscope because he gets away with murder, considering he said 3 years they're going to win a title and this is fourth and things like that. And every final he's got to, they've come up short. So in the cup. So yeah, United are United. But players, they've still got Lukaku, Alexis, Martial on paper, Rashford, Lingard, whatever you think of him, he was chipping in last year. There's Fred, there's Matic from Pogba, which could be which could be a great trio in midfield, assuming it's free. Probably weak in the fullback areas and arguably centre half, but that side got second last year. So the talent is there regardless. These players don't become poor overnight. Obviously, when you talk about the lack of fluidity, how they've been playing in pre-season, it leaves cause for concern. The lack of signings that they wanted cause for concern. So if a man's upset about the preparations, Jose, it does feel like this could be Jose's last year. I don't want to say it is, but that's what a lot of people I speak to about Man United are saying, that if this happens, if this sort of thing happens, does that scream a side that's going to get top 4 to you? It doesn't. Spurs, I do believe you have to respect them like you have for the last couple of years. They've been there. They might not have the most glorious of players, but they've been there. A lack of signings and things like that could mean Spurs it's been great for 2-3 years now. Maybe Spurs have a poor season which has been long overdue as an Arsenal fan. Maybe that happens. Arsenal, I'd love to be able to sit here and say, yeah, Emery's going to galvanise them, they're going to do this and that, and we're going to get top 4. That might very well happen, but by the other stretch of the imagination, it takes time to implement. There's a lot of changes. I think Emery is the man, but say he's not the man, which would mean another year out of top 4. Do you get what I'm saying? Chelsea, I believe they've got the players. If they're playing good football, they can get there. And off topic, before I go on about Chelsea, Arsenal, to a degree, I do think Europa League is our best route now versus, I still believe the best way is to qualify through the top 4. But if I'm looking at this top 4, I don't really think we have the quality if I'm using my brain. So yeah, Chelsea, it could go well. I mean, they're playing free-flowing football, but again, the same logic to Arsenal can be applied to them. It's a new manager, so I can only really see two teams that push. One team in City at this moment in time before the season's officially started, who I can say is definitely going to get top 4, because I honestly believe anyone in that top 6 can, if they put a run together, if they win games they're not supposed to win, if they don't lose when they deserve to lose, if they galvanise and fight. Like Arsenal have been behind in that department. That's why we haven't got top 4. Chelsea were behind last year. The top 6, top 4, whatever you want to call it, is very competitive. So I do believe City, I'm saying Liverpool as well, but I do believe, even now that I'm thinking about it, the same logic might even go against Liverpool, regardless of their great additions that they brought into the club, which I'm a fan of. I'd say City, to be honest with you, because again, assuming some players still need to gel and things like that. So that's how I believe the top 4. In regards to top 6, in regards to relegation, I'm not too sure, people, man, because before I get into relegation, I'm going to enjoy watching Fulham and Wolves play this year. They've made some good signings, and hopefully, definitely the Wolves manager, because he's a brother in that. Hopefully him and Houghton stay up. But in regards to relegation, in fact, I'm really looking to see Ruben Neves this year as well. But in regards to relegated sides, there's a lot of sides I think could be fighting there. I think Huddersfield could be going to be there. I don't want Brighton to go down for Chris Hughton. He's a brother, but he's probably going to be there. I think Bournemouth might probably be there, despite their good signings. Who else? I hope Fulham is not there, but by the same stretch of the imagination, when I look past the great names they've signed, you could kind of make a case for being there. I do think Cardiff are definitely going to be there, in my opinion. Burnley had a good year last year. I don't think they'll be there, but something's just telling me they might be there. Possibly Newcastle. I don't want Newcastle to go down, because I like Rafa Benitez and their fans. Not that I care about any other club apart from Arsenal, but it did feel he's been shortchanged in the transfer market. I know they brought in Sarr and they brought in Kennedy. I don't know if that's permanent or on another loan spell basis, but I do know he was. It did look like if I reading all the Newcastle fans on Twitter and that I've tried to speak, that I've actually spoken to on social media and things like that, it doesn't seem like they're happy with their transfer window, and it doesn't seem like he's been given adequate funds to improve them as a club. I don't support Newcastle, so they know that matters more than me in it. But yeah, that's who I think. That's my thoughts in regards to the top 4, top 6, whatever you want to call it, and regards to the relegated sides. Obviously, you're looking at the likes of West Ham, you're looking at Everton, you're looking at who else has spent a lot of money? West Ham, Everton, Fulham, Wolves. You're looking at all of these sides to possibly be in the top 10. Leicester have lost Mahrez. We'll see how they cope with that. Burnley got 7th. We'll see if they can do that again next year. Everton have spent a lot of money in Dijonay, Yerry Mina, and all of these good players. They probably need time to adapt. West Ham has spent some good amounts of money. Obviously, when I put their signings under the microscope, it isn't as gassed as I thought. But Felipe Anderson could be a good signing for them. So these are the sides I'm looking at. So these are just my my thoughts in regards to the season. So yeah, man. Premier League season's back on us, and you can see the crazy amount of videos I'm dropping in regards to the fever on that. But yeah, guys, delude, get in the comments, subscribe, and do the rest. I'm out.